Paqueta's played it through. Bowen's in. It's up for grabs now. He's done it. David Moyes is on the pitch. West Ham have won it. European glory is theirs. That's the words of the BT commentator last night as West Ham finished things off and won the Europa Conference League. I hope you are all well. What a night and what a day. The sun's out, so I thought I'd voyage out to the garden today. And Phil is joining me to discuss an incredible night for the football club. Phil, how are you, mate?
I lost my voice.
Lost for words?
I've lost for words. We won the trophy.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It's absolutely crazy. Shout out to everyone watching, to Batemans, to Nikki, everybody that's watching. Hello. And we are here to discuss the final. Before we do, talk about killing the mood a little bit. David Sullivan has just exclusively revealed to TalkSport that Declan Rice will definitely leave West Ham United this summer. The game finished at about 10:30 last night, and by 10:30 the next one, it's been 12 hours. David Sullivan spat into Jim White at TalkSport, completely shutting down any hopes of Declan Rice staying at the football club. Declan Rice last night in his interviews was 50-50. Jules Breach from BT put it straight to him. 1 more year. Will you give them what they want? He said, I don't know. I'm still a West Ham player. I've got 2 years left on my contract. He looked like he didn't know. And David Sullivan has just killed the mood. Phil, I ask why. To be honest, I ask why.
Why? Because he's got no class. It's all about him. That's why.
I cannot understand it at all. And the issue with it is that you've got, everybody knew it was going to happen. We all had a glimmer of hope left that he might have stayed. And then just let the fans enjoy this. It's our first trophy for donkey's years, for God's sake. Just let us enjoy this moment. Rice was enjoying himself last night, and let us enjoy it. But that's what we're going to do now. I'm going to take that off the screen, and we're going to talk about an immense night over in Prague last night. I don't really know where to start, to be honest with you. It was an edgy, nervy, and not very good game of football. But in the end, we came out victors, similarly to how we did in Alkmaar last minute, 1-on-1. Ball into the back of the net, and ecstasy for West Ham United.
Yeah. That's it. I mean, we knew beforehand that they were going to play a lot of dirty fouls, dirty tactics, and that evidently showed throughout the course of the game. I thought it was disgusting. Any given time, they'll drop down, and then they'll get a chance going their way. I think there was a chance when Aguerd got a yellow card. It looked like he was the one who got hit first. They both dropped the deck, but he was the one who got a yellow card, and they got the free kick for it. We were lucky when we got the penalty, when VAR checking the possible handball, and it rightly so was.
Yeah.
And when we scored, it was like, this is brilliant. We've got this. I felt like we said, it wasn't a great game to watch at all. However, I still felt confident we could nick something in it. So when we had that, it was brilliant. And then obviously, not long afterwards, they equalised, and it dampened it a bit. And then I thought, just before we got to 90 minutes, I thought, this is going to penalties. I felt it was going to penalties.
I was sitting there and going, this can't go to extra time. This can't go to extra time. A minute later, they put it in. You can't write scripts as good as that. You can't write stories as good as that. We've just done it, and we've done it incredibly. And the composure of Said Benrahma and Jarrod Bowen for the 2 goals. Said Benrahma had a long time to think about that penalty, and he still slotted it away comfortably. Jarrod Bowen, he had time to think about that, and yes, he sort of bundled it home in the end, but it just says Bowen 90 minutes goal on the score sheet. He scored. That's all that matters, and we've won. Wally's joining us over from the US of A. I hope you are well, mate. Got some of your weather over here, Wally. It's lovely today. It's lovely. The sun's come up West Ham. I get up this morning. Ben Shepherd's on the telly with his West Ham tie on. Speaking of Julian Dix, it's just it just don't get any better. And Phil, you were at the fan zone outside the London Stadium last night. How was that?
Yes. Yeah, it was all right. I got there just after 3:00. It was opening up around that time anyway. Got there at the right time. Had a sit down on a bench. Had a big jug full of beer. It was me and my dad was there. £25, so it sort of works out a decent price considering it would have been £6.50 a pint, and you got about 6 pints out of it. So I sort of won, just. But yeah, it was all right. And then it got it started filling up a bit more. Then they were playing a lot of 90s dance music, which was all right for a short period, but I was getting a bit sick and bored of it. It's like listening to history sometimes. When I used to like listening to it, I got bored of that. And then they had this lady who was singing. She was okay, did a few songs, and then they started playing Madness and a lot of old ska music, The Jam, and a couple of other old songs from like the 80s. And that was a much better atmosphere, really, when all that was going on. There's only one. I was outside in the courtyard at the beginning of it, and they had like one big screen, but it was sort of low down at first, and they slowly raised it up. But when the first half started, some people they were standing up, so you couldn't really see a lot.
Oh, right.
And I'm 6 foot, so I can just about see it. My dad's like 5'5", so he struggles. When we got into half time, actually before half time, I think, we just moved inside in the supporters club. They had loads of screens, and they were actually 50 seconds behind, or no, sorry, 50 seconds ahead of the big screen out front. So we just went in there. I was dying to go to the toilet, so I thought, wait, just before half time, because I've done that mistake before. Second half started. At least had a decent seat. Well, I stood up actually, like a lot of other people did, singing, chanting. Then the goals come in. There's people throwing beer everywhere. It was unbelievable. Towards the end of the game, I took my shirt off, started swinging it about. But the thing is, because I came from work earlier that day, and I had my lanyard, which has got my security pass and my name badge and everything, and the key I use for the gate lines. I was thinking, I'm celebrating. I was like, oh no, where's it gone? Where's it gone? For about 5 minutes, I was looking for it, and then I just see this red lanyard somewhere in the corner. I just ran over that, picked it up. I was like, this is my own little victory. It's like my own little winner's medal. This is
Brilliant.
So yeah, I got
I
that
think as well. The whole sort of atmosphere was reflected throughout all of the fan zones. The Ironwork Tours one in Prague, the official one in Prague, the one by the stadium, the couple in Hackney Wick. There was one at the Box Park. There was some at the O2 as well. We were all over the place. There's fan zones absolutely everywhere. And I think the mood was reflected, and it wasn't the best game. I think it was the story of our season, really. In the end, we've come out with a victory, we've come out with a trophy, but we didn't play very good football. And to be honest, I think the sort of contrast in tactics sort of worked in our favour, because it was quite clear from early on that that a side like Fiorentina were going to high press us, they were going to put us under pressure, and they did, and they rattled us a little bit in the first half. And we persistently sat, and we didn't press as much as they did. We sort of stuck to our game plan, we stuck to our rituals and what we've done all season, and in the end, it came good, and it paid dividends. And I think that's the balls of Moyes there as well, because he could have changed it and adapted things and sort of tried to match them up man for man. But we, remained with our tactics, and in the end, it paid off, of course. And they dominated the first half possession wise, but they only had one shot on target. And when you say that, they didn't really threaten us too much.
Not really, no. No, Ariola did a couple of saves, I remember. But obviously we was lucky they had a goal disallowed for offside.
Yeah.
So forget about that and all. So yeah, that was just as well. That would have been a proper mood killer as well. But yeah, it's not like they were 1-on-1 with a keeper or anything like that. We sort of stuck to our guns really. The thing is, we scored more goals.
Exactly, and I think we probably edged it in the end. It wasn't a great tie to watch. It wasn't entertaining football at all, and we came out victory. Yeah, Andy, we discussed it a couple of minutes ago. It's frustrating, isn't it? About Rice, frustrating that Sullivan's come out and said that. I can't understand it. Well, the video's coming regarding that specifically soon, so keep an eye out for that. But I just wanted to come on here and just reflect on what's a moment of history, Phil, because it is a complete moment of history. It's now been 0 days since we've won a trophy as a football club. Spurs have gone, 15 years without a trophy, 5,000 something days, whatever. And in the end now, these players deserve it. The fans, a A couple of fans made us look like idiots last night by throwing the cups on. That was disappointing because that put us in a negative light where we've been extremely well behaved throughout all of our European trips. So it's a little bit annoying that happened, but it's done now. Whatever. Hopefully, no repercussions come back from that. But the fans, the rest of them are absolutely exceptional, and they deserve that as well. They've gone to Cyprus, Netherlands, everywhere, Bucharest for a dead rubber game. They've been absolutely everywhere, and these fans deserve it because we've been through the mill. We've seen some dire football this season in the Premier League, especially away from home. Wolves away, Brighton away, two in particular were absolutely dreadful, and that just repays every poor performance we've ever had last night. That's how much it means to the fans. That's how much it means to the whole squad, the players, to Mark Noble as well. Obviously, stepped back from playing duties in his nice sort of trousers and shirt last night. He was in tears. Creswell was in tears. They were all in tears. It was an incredibly emotional and just such amazing moment. And I was just sat there on the review last night, just in complete and utter disbelief of what I was seeing.
Yeah, it's going to take a long time to sort of sink in. Really, we won a trophy, and no one's going to remember where we finished in the league. It wasn't a great season, as you said. But when you've got a trophy at the end of it, it makes it a lot better, doesn't it? So it's sort of worth it, really. We got European football. Spurs haven't.
Well, that's the main thing as well. Looking at it, is that and hopefully there's no bans or anything we get back from the incident last night.
Yeah.
But we're now in Europa League football. We finished 14th in the league, and we've got Europa League football. We've completely beaten the system. And whoever's here, whether Rice is here or not here, looks like definitely that's not going to happen now. But it's a key summer to go again, because the Europa League isn't going to be the sort of free ride through pretty much the group stage and the last 16, which we had for the Conference League. We weren't really tested at all, so we got to Genk, if I'm honest with you. So that's going to be difficult and different. There'll be more better and more capable sides in the Europa League. Of course, it's a harder competition, but Romanelli went and did it. They won the Conference League last year and got to the final of the Europa League this year. We can do exactly the same, and for the fans as well, it's another year of the European tour, a third successive season of European football for West Ham. So that's thinking, it's incredible. Absolutely incredible. 3 years of European football back to back. I mean, we've done it, finished 6th, finished 7th, finished 14th. I wanted to get back into it. We're never going to leave Europe. What are we doing?
I know. It's like when I remember when we had the 2 seasons of Europa League in the qualifiers when we lost to Astragugu. We managed to get into it the first time round because of the UEFA fair play thing, and then the second time when we finished 7th. So it's sort of a typical West Ham sort of thing, really. Look, we're going to be playing bigger teams. That's what we expected when we played in the Europa League previous season. But even then, when we was in the group stage, we probably had the best group out of all the other teams. So this time around, I'm expecting us to play bigger teams in the group stages and just see where it goes. We signed these players for these sort of games, and now they're at a bigger competition to flex their muscles, really, and go out and perform. And hopefully this time where we can get a couple more additions to the team, and it won't be a smaller side. It'd be more options of players to play.
We can have a good go at it as well. The only other thing I'll say regarding the Europa League is I just hope Brighton, somebody knocks out Brighton, because because we're just never going to beat Brighton, are we? So let's hope anybody, I don't care who, knocks out Brighton before we may or may not get to them in the competition. But no, in all seriousness, it's good next year. I'm looking forward to the English clubs in Europe. I think it's good. I think it's the best it's been for a while. There's no Spurs, there's no Chelsea in it, which is lovely. There's Newcastle, there's Brighton, there's Villa, there's West Ham. There's 4 teams that usually aren't in Europe that have got European football next season. That's brilliant. UEFA may not like it. It's not the household names of Chelsea and Spurs, but for the other 14 clubs in the league, 4 of them now have got European football next season. That's exceptional. That's brilliant. And, you know, of course, we know what's happened at Newcastle.
Mm.
And you know, they were obviously going to get to this stage at some point. They've got to it very quickly indeed. But, you know, it's just really damaged the Big Six sort of brand here as well, because two of them aren't in it. There's only four of them in it. That's brilliant. I love it.
Yeah, and I hope that continues.
Yeah.
Hopefully, us and Villa, obviously Newcastle, they're going to be in Europe for many years to come now
Yeah.
with all their money. But yeah, it's good for the smaller club to have that taste of European nights. No, Villa, they used to be in Europe for a few years, back in about 15 years ago. Brighton, they're going to be there for the ride. They're going to enjoy it no matter what happens. If they finish bottom of the league, of the group stage or not, they're going to enjoy it. It's great, and it's like a bit of a drug, really. We want more of it.
It is a drug, isn't it? You know, and we've mentioned that before. We got to the semi-final. I got United, and we were all like, "Please, we got to finish in 6th or 7th to get back in it." And again, now, you know, many people said the next 3 months of my, 3 months talking about football, it sort of relied on that now, because we can all look forward to getting booked up, another European away. We look forward to sitting here and doing the draw at some point as well. You know, I can't wait to do a Europa League draw and not see green. You know. No disrespect to the Conference League at all, but we're going to see that orange of the Europa League back again. Our card's going to be pulled out of there. And honestly, I mean, if we finish third in the Europa League group, we go back down to the Conference League. But if we remain in the Europa League, I hope Villa go and win the Conference League. I'd love for Villa to go and win it, because, you know, let's keep the conference claret and blue. And I'd love for one of these four teams to go and win one of the European competitions next season. I hope City win the Champions League on the weekend. And the moral of the story is, I want every English team to win, unless it's Arsenal, Spurs, or Chelsea. Maybe Man United as well. So it's what, isn't it?
Exactly.
Zane says petition for Newcastle to replace Spurs in the top six, even West Ham, to be fair. Well,
yeah,
Chelsea,
I'll write that.
Chelsea as well. They're part of the Big Six, but if you do 6 times 2, that's 12. That's where they finish. Oh dear, you can't write it, can you? Lads, once you've won it, once you've won your first, it can make your club hungry to win, whether it's the FA, Carabao Cup, or even Europa League. And, you know, we might go and win. You know, we might have the confidence, and I think it's massively dependent on what we do in the summer now, who we let go, who we bring in, because the Europa League, as we found out a couple of years ago, is a very it's very stressful, and it's a very sort of hard competition to be part of. And of course, we've had more of an easy ride in the Conference League this year, but we won't have that in the Europa League next year. And we need to have a more equipped, ready, and capable squad with, you know, decent squad depth to, if we've got a, you know, dead rubber game, which you never know we might do, then you've got to rest the players, and you know, that's the way we've got to balance things.
Exactly. Hopefully, you know, we might see a bit more of Mubama and Potts and Skulls next season, so that they'll be utilised a lot in cup games. If we can, sign the right players as well. Don't go out and spend like loads of money and load of just average players. We can get our business done early as well. Everyone's all settled in. We keep this confidence going. We could have it could be another great season, like there's 2 seasons we had before that.
Exactly, and you know, we can create more memories as well. You know, I'd have been gutted if we had lost last night, just because we lost the final. But again, we wouldn't have had Europe next season. It is a drug, as you've said. Many people have said it. It's you know, it's a good addiction. I love us playing in Europe. It's brilliant. I love the fans going over to anywhere and everywhere and having brilliant 2 or 3 day benders. You know, it's absolutely brilliant for the fan base, and it's been our saving grace this season, where, you know, our expectations have been so high, loitering around the top with 6th and 7th positions in the last couple of seasons, and we've also been dragged back down to reality this year in the league. You know, we've played the normal West Ham way, but many people mentioned at the start of this season, I take survival and winning the Conference League. When we finished 14th and won the Conference League, with survival secured 2 or 3 weeks, you know, 3 or 4 weeks before the sort of climax of the Premier League. It's just brilliant, honestly, and I'm happy for Moyes as well, Phil.
Yeah, Absolutely. He said, obviously, he's always had his critics, and more so this season. We've had a lot of Moyes out, Moyes in, so on. So I feel we, done a video saying he might, looks like he's set to leave, and he wasn't. I've always on the fence, really, because I'm always concerned if results are not going our way. However, I'm always in the camp of who is you going to bring in if he left. You don't. That's the thing. Well, I think a lot of other fans of other teams are the same with when they have certain managers as well. But we're always like, yeah, let's get someone out. But you've got to have someone there who can take the place. Nobody wanted Moyes when he came back, but he's proved a lot of people wrong.
And I think as well, I've got no shame in saying that I wanted Moyes to go in, big stages of this season. I can remember walking out of Wolves away in January, speaking to a couple of people we know, and I was just, I was shocked at how bad we were, and I couldn't see any improvement. And it's similar when we walked out of Brighton in March. I didn't see how it changed, and yes, winning this is absolutely massive. It still doesn't change. It still doesn't change how poor we were in the Premier League. Yes, we've got survival, of course. That's the main thing. But Moyes will stay now. They won't sack him. Not a chance. He won't leave. Not a chance. But something's got to change because we can't play like that and be in the Europa League and expect to be sort of comfortably secure and safety again. I know as well this season was always going to be a transition season. Loads of players left last summer. We bought a load in. Players like Kerr and Paqueta are starting to really click now. If we can keep hold of these players, I think the start of the season is crucial. We had a pathetic start to the season from the season that's just gone. And I do have more confidence in those players now. There's more there. There's more ability that we perhaps didn't see at the start of the season that took a long time to sort of materialise. And that's the confidence I have as long as Moyes allows these players to really show their potential, Phil.
Yeah, I think that was one of the concerns really with Moyes, where he's always been stubborn with his tactics. So if he allows certain players to sort of express themselves a lot more, we all play together as a team, we could be unbeatable. So it's where you got players like Paqueta, who is a quality player, hence why we paid so much money for him. We want to see more of that. We want him to get better and better and do it for years to come for us. We want to see, who knows what's going to happen with Scamacca. We don't know.
Well, that's another thing because there were thoughts that he wasn't even going to travel over, and he did travel over separately. I even saw a picture of a West Ham fan who was sat next to him on an economy flight, which made me laugh. And he seems to be very much part of the mold there. The videos in a dressing room of him getting involved and like signing stuff and like shirts and him giving Moyes a big hug. And I think one thing that we can't not mention here is Scamacca played a pivotal role in us getting out of the group in this.
He did.
He got about 5 goals, I think, in this competition this season. He saw some banging goals in the group stage as well. So, his contributions don't go unnoticed as well in this competition. And, for the majority of this season, I've been on the fence that I think he'll leave. But now seeing some of the posts he's put on and how much he seemed to be enjoying last night, I think he'll stay.
Well, I don't know. There's still a chance he could leave, but when we saying about all those goals, they've shown it a few days ago on the YouTube channel about all the goals that we scored from Viborg in the qualifying all the way up to the semi-final. In those early games, you forget how many goals he scored, and some of them are really good goals.
Yeah, oh, definitely.
So, Lawrence, to show,
Lawrence joins us. Thank you very much. We have done it. We have done it. It's just a disbelief. And, I know he broke down in tears last night on the review. I couldn't believe what I was watching. I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. Little old West Ham won a European trophy that catapults us back in to the Europa League. And every single one of those players deserve that because, and one thing that made me choke up as well, that Aaron Creswell, just with a massive outburst of passion, he was in tears. You can see how much it means to him. The guilt is still on his shoulders for last year. You can tell that it's starting to release now, and you feel like he released it last night. There was a sense of thankfulness and relief from him there. and the whole squad as well, just taking it in. We had to enjoy it because that's what these occasions are for.
That's right. That's right. A lot of these players, especially Creswell, Bonner as well. They're coming to the end. They've played in the Europa League for us back at Upton Park. Shows how long they've been with us. So they've seen ups and downs, and none of that matters now. They say they've got a winners medal, on their footballing CV. They're going to be cherishing that for years to come, and they can talk about that to their families as well.
And it was the sort of disbelief as well. Declan Rice sort of like just walked around as the fans were singing 1 more year, 2 more years, 10 more years. And he was just stood there like, wow. And you could tell, his facial expression was just, wow, look at this place. And his post-match interview was composed to perfection as well. I don't know whether you've seen it. He's talking to Jules and the Coles on BT Sport. And he sort of said, I love this club. I can't speak highly enough of this football club. He loves us. He's one of us. He's, he started off at Chelsea. He got binned off there. He came to West Ham. He's a West Ham lad. And he loves us. And of course, now he will leave to maximise his potential. And I hope he goes on and wins more trophies. He's won a trophy at West Ham. If this is the fairy tale, then it's the best fairy tale we could have ever wished for. I hope he now goes on to win Champions Leagues, Premier Leagues, all the elite trophies that he can and deserves to win in his footballing career, because he's a gem. Not only on the pitch, off the pitch, he's an absolute legend. And none of us can speak more highly of him, because he's just, he's been the backbone of our midfield for 3 or 4 years. He's made over 200 appearances for West Ham at the age of 24. It's just revolutionary. What a player. And I didn't think he was best last night. I think they did a job on him, actually. Noble mentioned it in his post-match as well. They actually shut him down quite well last night, but he still had the impact. He still led us to victory. And it's just words can't describe that man, Phil.
Nah, he's a modern-day club legend for sure. And we'll all be Declan Rice fans wherever he ends up. Obviously, we've seen.
If he goes to Bayern Munich, I'm buying a Bayern Munich shirt with Rice back. It's happening.
Yeah, I blame you for that as well.
Yeah.
But you got to look. You see Jude Bellingham, who's going to be going to Real Madrid for a massive fee. So that he will follow suit there, even though Madrid they seem to afford it. So he could go there, do a partnership with Bellingham, or whoever he goes to. He's always going to have West Ham in his heart. And even if he goes to another Premier League team and he comes back to the London Stadium, we're all going to be cheering for him unless he scores against us.
Yeah. Zane says, oh no, that's wrong. I got this one. Zane says, Declan Rice probably will go to Arsenal, Man United, only because of Champions League football. I've got a feeling he won't go to Arsenal. I don't know why. I've just got an inkling that I think he may have realised that they're in the Champions League, but I can't see him getting much past this round of 16, to be honest with you. That might come back to bite me, but obviously we'd all prefer him to go to a club like Real Madrid or Bayern Munich and not play in the Premier League, not have to see him come back to the London Stadium wearing another team's colours. But whatever happens, as long as he doesn't go to Tottenham or Chelsea, to be honest, I'm Man United. I wouldn't really mind. So there's a few I definitely don't want him to go to, but whatever will be. Lawrence says, did not think I'd ever see what happened last night. West Ham winning Europe had tears in my eyes. We all did. And I don't think anyone's ashamed to say that there was tears in, all of our eyes last night. I couldn't believe what I was watching. This is West Ham United Football Club, for God's sake. This isn't us winning trophies. We haven't won a European trophy since 1965. Declan Rice has now entered an incredibly short list of West Ham captains to lift a European trophy. Billy Bonds, Bobby Moore, Declan Rice. And that can never be stripped away from him. Wherever Declan Rice goes, he will never be loved as much as he is at West Ham. He'll just be another brilliant player in a brilliant squad somewhere. We love him, and he knows that. He absolutely knows that. Will says Chelsea would be his first choice, but that is a lot of humble pie to eat. To pay £100 million a player they released for free 5 years ago. There's no chance he'll go to Chelsea. I don't think he'll go back there. Mount's gone to United now, so his best mate's not going to be there. So I can't see that, to be honest with you. I really can't. I don't think they'll stump up the money either. You know, they just bought Enzo Fernandez, a midfielder, for 120 million quid. It's been crap, so can't see them spending that again on another one, to be honest. So yeah, that was shocked me. But I mean, we're going to talk about Declan Rice all summer until the transfer, wherever he goes, is completed, of course. But overall, Phil, just give us some final thoughts.
Final thoughts. We're the champions. Final thoughts done.
The
champions.
We
are the champions. No time for losers, 'cause we are the champions.
I think as well, you know, I can't wait to go to away days next year. Champions of Europe. You'll never sing that. Champions of Europe. We know what we are. It's going to hit different.
It really is.
But Phil, I mean, we've seen the videos of the players, you know, jumping around in hotel lobbies at 4 a.m. this morning. They've flown back, and it's a trophy parade tonight at 7 o'clock, starting at Upton Park, going over to Stratford Town Hall to finish things off tonight. I'm a little bit gutted it's not on Saturday, to be honest with you, but I don't think there'll be too many there, because I think most will still be in Prague. But you know, the turnout will still be good, I'm sure, and a hero's welcome will be in order.
I might go up there myself, actually.
Get yourself up there and be our roving reporter.
I'll do my very best, Jake.
Brilliant. Right. Any final thoughts, Phil?
No. That's a wrap for the season.
Yeah.
Let's enjoy the summer and look forward for next season.
We're done as well. You know, I'm off today. I've got an exam tomorrow, and then I've got one more week of exams. And enjoy the summer, guys. It's been a drag of a season. Of course, I'll do a sort of round off video. Some people will do a season review next week as well, once all the dust
that'd be good.
And plenty of content to come. I've got a series that's in the pipeline as well. I finish school next week, so then I've got a lovely long extended holiday to bring you content, and we'll endeavour to bring you exclusives, much more. And the place to be is right here on West Ham Official. We finished the season on the biggest high possible. Oh, what a night! Oh, what an occasion! And just what a spectacle! The pinnacle. We've won it. Declan Rice has lifted a trophy in a West Ham shirt. David Moyes has lifted a trophy. That whole squad has done us proud. And from us, for one last time, reacting to a game this season. Come on,
you Irons.
And we'll see you soon right here on West Ham Official. We've done it. I cannot believe it. We'll see you soon. I'll end with my rallying speech, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye. From Denmark to Romania to Cyprus to Belgium to the Netherlands, what a journey we've had, and it now ends in Prague. It all lands on 90 minutes, 120 max, potentially pens. We've got you covered, and the place to be is right here on West Ham Official. Lads, please bring that trophy home. Do us proud. Come on, you Irons.